Hey everybody, what's going on? Let me show you what I got going on here today at PC 911. I haven't done a phone repair video in a while. So I said, let's throw this one up. Let's record this one. This is a 12 Pro Max. And the battery is at like 50 something percent. Shows this side here is bulged out. And the battery just dies super fast. So 50% on a 12 Pro Max, I guess, yeah, it's possible. You got to be using, if you're on the road all the time, if you're doing a full charge every day, or maybe more than a charge every day, in a couple of years it will get there. So a little 99% alcohol, soften that up a little bit. Got my, did I turn this off? Got my heat plate up. Luckily, since the screen is bulging, shouldn't be a big deal. Taking it off. The tempered glass got some cracks in it, but it looks like the screen is okay. I don't like to work with screens, like to do a repair on a device that's got cracks on the screen. If you're gonna do a repair on that, you gotta be, if you got a shop, you want to have a disclosure on that, because pulling it off, it's probably gonna get worse. So take that into consideration. So I kind of thought about that one a little bit. 12 Pro Max battery. Remember, when you change your battery, you're going to get a message, unknown part. Let me show you here. When you go to your battery app, then you go to your battery health, you're going to get this message. I don't know if that focuses properly or not, since we're both in the same picture, but basically unable to verify the battery. So you can't check your battery health with the app, but you can install third-party apps, or you can do it on a computer. Basically, is really the best. 3U tools, 3 the letter U tools. Install it on a computer, then you just connect the phone to the computer. It'll tell you the battery life, how many charges. So it's not that the information is not available, it's just that Apple chooses not to give it to you. If you change the battery, it's like tough luck. So you're going to get that, but also when you go to general, let me show you this one. When you go to general, and then you come here to parts and service history, I don't know, you can see that. Parts and service history, basically here, battery, unknown part, display, unknown part, I changed the display, and then Face ID issue. My Face ID doesn't work. So this phone, my phone, is a mess. But that's fine. So keep that in mind if you're going to change it. If you're changing it for somebody, let them know. It's easier to explain it before than after. Explaining that afterwards, don't want to do that. People will just, hasn't happened to me because I explained it before, but somebody wants to take advantage. I'll be like, oh, you didn't tell me that, give me a discount because now I got that message I didn't know. I don't know. I don't want to get into that situation. So this pry tool is very thin. If I was going to do a screen replacement, I would just use a you know, the regular pry tool, but since we're using the same screen, you just want to be careful with it. I also have that sandwich puller, but the back glass is, oh, let me try it. The back glass is broken, but not here. Let's try it. So could use this guy. So this pulls on both sides, so it's pretty good. So we're gonna try this since the back glass is broken, but not there. And gradually. Going. I thought it was going to come up a little easier since it's already lifted up over here. Probably move it to this corner. It's going. Get underneath the frame. This screen is still an original screen, but even the original screens, you know, which would be the, you know, good quality screen, you could lift this up like this and still, if you're, you know, if you don't heat it, you don't give it that alcohol, you'll lift the glass off the frame. You don't want to do that. So just take your time. Let the alcohol do the work. And once it's, you know, more separated like now pretty much, then you could get this guy underneath there and start prying. So like this little corner here, the glass is separating from the frame. So we want to get underneath, pull the frame out. And once you got that frame separated, then I like to go vertical and then again alcohol. Let the alcohol do the job. Also, you know, when you let the alcohol and the heat do the job for you, the seal on, especially on these on the 12s, on the 11 maybe not so much. I think it started with the 12s. that the seal is pretty thick. It stays, you know, pretty well intact. So you hardly ever have to change it. It's pretty thick and it separates well, and it'll just stay right on the frame. If you do a good job of removing it nice and slow like that, most of it is going to stay on the frame and you're good. If it does, you know, if it comes off of the frame too much, then I'll replace it. But most of the time it's fine. The aftermarket seals are, you know, not as thick anyways. Alright, we're 3/4 of the way. Alright, we're almost there. When you get up here, you want to give it a little wiggle when you get all the way to the top, because you'll unglue it, but you still got the clips up there. So like that's already completely loose. Let's go with the other side. Again, if you're replacing the screen, you could be a little more rough with it. But this one, we're keeping the screen. It's an original screen. It's got a screen protector with cracks on it. The screen's not cracked, but we want it to stay that way. So we're pretty much, it's already loose. It's just a matter of getting it to pop out of the top clips. And there it is. So to change the battery is basically all the first half of the steps is the screen replacement procedure. Right? Remove prox connector up top. Battery connector. Actually, I'm going to move these up. to this little block so that we have the space plate, disconnect the battery, disconnect the screen, prox plate, disconnect the prox connector. Alright, so yeah, if you see here, this screen is original, but it may have been lifted before because it looks like it may have been removed before for whatever reason. So you can feel this battery is kind of expanded. 12 Pro Max battery. Is this 12 Pro Max? Let's take a look at. Where am I here? Let's take a look at the iFixit. Have I done a 12 Pro Max? I'm not sure. Alright, so we're going to remove the bottom speaker and then the Taptic engine. And that's it. So pretty standard. Bottom speaker, Taptic engine, and then we got the tape on the bottom, tape on the top. And that's my 3 o'clock appointment. All right, let's keep going. We got the bottom screws. I actually got them out already. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think it's just those 5. There's the speaker. So you got to pry the speaker a little bit. Speaker has some glue at the bottom, at the little exhaust over here. That thing is in there. Make sure there's not another. Look, that speaker. Yeah, 4 screws. Yep, 4 screws there, and it should just pop out. Got a little bit of an adhesive tape that comes over from this side. From the Taptic engine over, let's see if I can show you that. Kind of over the top, little adhesive tape that comes across the top. I don't know the function. It's like a flex, but it's not really a flex. It's just like a little piece of tape, kind of holds it in place, or helps hold it in place. But it's not adhered at the bottom or anything like that. I guess it's just in there, nice and tight. So the Taptic engine, you got that first screw, and then here you got a standoff screw. You got the connection, and I think, and you got another screw down here. And I think that's it. Got another standoff down there. Yeah. What do we got down there? Where's my plier? My other one. Tweezer. Okay, so you got to take that little cap out because you got another standoff down here. And then now you're able to get the vibrator out. So that gives you all the space underneath to pry these, the pull tabs, and you got 2 pull tabs on the top. So these pull tabs, you could split them in half. It's like a two-part, but it's connected. Let me see if we should split them or not. First, get this little edge off of there so you can grip it. You want to use tweezer so you could kind of like wrap it up. Once you get a little bit of it, you kind of start wrapping, spinning it. Let's see if I can just at least to get the first tips separated. You don't want to pinch this, so like here I'm just using the spudger just because I want to be a little rougher with it, because you don't want to use that sharp tip, and then poke it, you might have a problem. So get that first edge off, which is where you're going to start pulling from. And then you want to pull, try not to, you want to pull just enough. When you feel too much pressure, kind of wiggle. You don't want it to break. About splitting it, probably not, because it's one piece. So what I'm going to try to do is grab the whole tab, little wiggle, spin, little wiggle, hopefully, not pull, but once you feel a lot of tension, try to wiggle and then re-grasp it. You don't want it to break. How much tension is too much tension? Experience will tell you. But basically when you're pulling and it just comes to a complete stop, it's not, you just feel it that it's not going. You give it a little wiggle and it pulls in a different angle and kind of gives you a little bit of give, and then you're able to keep going, and then you feel that it's smooth. That was not good. Didn't expect that. The little tip came right off. Try to get as much of this tab at a time. What happened there, I just got a little piece of the tab pulled and it just ripped. So I got a little piece of tab down here, then I just ripped the other part. Then I got another little piece of tab here. Let's see if I can get myself some more. Now once you got the first, since we got the first one off, I'm gonna push in there, give myself a little leverage, which should help me pull this a little bit. Here I only got half of the tab. There, it's going. It's going. So it's catching now with the rest of it. Pretty hard. All right, I'm gonna get that one out of there. All right, we're good. Look at the top ones, but the bottom ones are the bigger ones. The top ones you may even be able to just pry them off. Now, once you get those bottom ones off, these top ones are very small. You just, yeah, just almost pry them off. I mean, pry them off so long as your battery stays. You know, if it allows it and the battery stays firm, you don't want to bend your battery. This battery is thick. You can't really probably tell in the video, but it's like the thing is like double the thickness of this. That's not a good thing. It's because it's expanding. So either way, you know, we got that top part off without pulling them, but still want to clean the tape off. So just, you know, try to find a little edge. And man, where's my bend tip? So here, even though, you know, you got the, you know, the battery's already off, you still, you know, this tape, you still want to grab it and pull it, because that's kind of how it comes off. You know, if you try to just scrape it, it's so much harder. If you're able to grab a corner and just do that sideward motion, it just peels right off. Here, for example, is a little piece, and yeah, if you want to scrape it, it's hard to scrape. But if you're able to grab and pull, it comes up so clean. This one's a small piece, so when you pull, it turns into just splits. Give it the spaghetti roll. Yeah, like spaghetti roll, like what you would do with spaghetti. You would get it with a fork and spin it around. So that's what you do with the tweezer and the tape. You just twist it around, pull a little bit. Damn, you can't even pull on this. Just twist it around and it just peels it right off. Yeah, don't pull. This thing is, you pull it and it splits. Alright, it's clean. Ooh. Yeah, so this battery on this corner here was getting really ugly. Maybe that's exactly. So that corner there, you show here some dark marks. It might have been leaking there, and you could see that's right where this impact took place. So that impact damaged that battery right there, and you could kind of see some kind of corrosion maybe of the materials there. So we're good there. I'm going to put it back, put everything back, then put the battery on. This battery, I believe I tested it. Yes, I have tested this battery already, because I cut some of the tabs off already. Yeah. So let's put her back. And the reason I say put it back is you don't want to put the battery in and then you wind up putting it You know, when this is wide open, maybe you put it, you know, too far to one side, and then when you go put your stuff in, you know, it doesn't fit, or it's too, you know, compacted. So that way, if everything else is in place, it gives you just a little bit better visual positioning for the battery. So normally I do the opposite. Normally I would put the battery, test it, do all that. Like, you know, on computers I always say test everything before putting stuff back together. Here, I mean, you can't start up the phone without these other components. It probably won't restart. It probably will do a reboot if all these things ain't connected. So one is the test that it has to be connected, and two is that battery already was tested. So we got standoff. We got bottom screw. We got another standoff. Not really. Gotta loosen these up to give me a little wiggle room, believe it or not. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Got this little cover clip. Gotcha. So this 12 Pro Max is probably one of the easier batteries. You know, most of the newer phones, you know, you have to take off this bottom part too. But most of them they got just more screws, and they have a little antenna down there, and they just have more stuff. I mean, this was pretty straight up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Something like that. That's all she wrote. That's it. I like to connect it first. And then let it fall based on that. I mean, it's a tight squeeze. And there it is. All right, disconnect and ready to close. Only got 2 flexes here. Right, the LCD's got 1 flex, and the proximity ear speaker flex 1, 2. Now let's reconnect the battery. Verify all's good, and let's crank it up. Do I got any power on that battery? Maybe, maybe not. All right, she's booting up. So I'm gonna do a video. Actually, I'm gonna move this camera around and use this video. I'm gonna stop it, because then I'm gonna grab that clip and just make that a separate video. So, well, we do got juice on it. It's got 62%. So again, if we go to the battery app, this phone is in Spanish, unknown part, and we can't read the data there. Actually, I'm just gonna let this video keep rolling. I'm gonna check it over here. I don't know how well this is gonna see that, but again, it's not for the detail. At least I'm just telling you what's going on. Can you see my screen there? Yeah, so what we do is we're going to connect the phone here to this computer. And we're going to go to 3U Tools. It's an app. 3, the letter U, Tools. Go online, look it up, install it. Alright, so when you come up here to 3U Tools, on this menu, whether you could see it there or not, over here, I got the battery life details, 100%. If we click on it, it gives me a little bit more detail. how many times it's been charged, the charge capacity, all that stuff. Design capacity and actual capacity. When you divide those two, well, if you divide one by the other, it's how they come up with the battery life. So battery life is at 100%. So 3U tools is what you want to do to verify your batteries once you change them. So battery is good to go. And we're going to wrap it up. Basically put on the two plates. This one hooks into the inside. Not enough magnet. There we go. And it's a wrap. Bottom two screws, and took us about 40 minutes. Roughly. Like I said, this 12 Plus was pretty straight up. I like it. '12 Pro Max battery replacement, and that's what's going on right here, right now at PC 911.